recording, and frames are stable. Alright, how to get third best server time on Scholomance, narrated by Z, when you're ready.
Alright, so we're going to start off by feathering the tanks. Tank's just going to run up both of these mobs down into the boss. The tank's going to jump over the edge and taunt the boss so that these three casters do not spawn. Just use minor cooldowns on the tanks here. Damage is pretty stable. These little Ring of Frost things that just happened, you don't want to stand in that. It will nearly one-shot you. And if you get a Wrath, like you see on the other right now, just stand away from the race so that he doesn't hit everybody. I'm gonna bury you now. Just rotate through your cooldowns here, rotate through stuns, and just nuke the boss. Your priority is getting down the boss. The ads don't hit that hard as long as you're rotating through your stuns and your CDs. I don't think I mentioned the Rack Soul debuff yet, but if you get that, it's going to tick from 10 seconds. 1, it will spell off of you, and if you're near anyone else, you jump to them, so you want to be away. Here, just about DPS. You can stand in these little cubbies back here and avoid everything. Avoid all damage. You're still going to get incidental damage from the casting books, but the fire books shouldn't hit you here. Again, you need to keep a watch out for the buffs that go out that I mentioned earlier. Boss dies here, the tank's gonna keep going and around the corner to the left and pull the one skeleton ad. As a healer, you're probably gonna want mana here, so time to use your restorative amber.
Where do you get those, by the way?
You get those from being honored with the Claxy. You can get them from the quartermaster there in Dreadwastes. So here, once the skeleton ad dies, the tank's going to run into the next room. It's going to pick up all the candlestick mages. You want to try to dispel here as much as you can as a healer. Again, use minor cooldowns to survive this, as the damage does get pretty intense. We can AG now as well.
AG.
So you're rotating through your cooldowns. All this trash is fairly trivial. Once the candlestick mages get low, we'll put a stun on them, and then we're going to pull the boss. We're pulling the boss here behind the shelves, so that when she does the mirror image phase of her fight, she will bug out after about 3 or 4 seconds and port back here to avoid having to deal with that phase. You can just do the strat as normal if you feel as well. The Barrow Helper add-on helps quite a bit here. There you go, boss ports. And just standard DPS here. Tank needs to make sure she faces her away from the raid when she does the Wondrous Rapidity. If you're using a Brewmaster, they can stand in that with reduction cooldown like Diffuse or Zen Med, and get a little bit of extra vengeance here, although it's pretty minor. The boss dies here. We're going to come over here to the right side and stack up on the square marker. This is just so that when the bone mobs come in, they're not going to start AoEing us. Now the Brewmaster goes to the next room, and he uses a rare mob item. I forget what it's called. It's horn something. If you have it, you can say.
Battle Horn. From the,
Battle Horn. Yeah.
Mob over in the
AG.
Mob over in the Valley of Four Winds.
Yeah, so what that does is it's got like a 1.5 second cast time. Cast it and it pulls all mobs within a 40-yard radius to us, so it's an easy way to get all the Bone Weavers together quickly. He then ports back around the corner and faces the mobs away from us, group in, and we just AoE them down. We rotate through minor cooldowns here, Spirit Shell and AG, in order to get them down. We'll save all of our major cooldowns for the pull after this boss. Third boss is fairly trivial. Make sure you have the Bone Armor debuff, which you get from clicking the bone piles around the room. There's 6 of them. You are able to use major defensive or major offensive cooldowns here, since it's purely a tank and fight. Make sure you refresh your Bone Armor when he casts his ability to remove it. Not going to use much in the way of defensives here. At the beginning, I will Spirit Shell the tank in order to allow his rusting stacks to get a little bit higher, allow the tank to stay in, get more vengeance, do more damage to the boss so it dies quicker. Once the Spirit Shell ends, he usually uses a minor cooldown like Guard, takes another hit, and then gets out. You have to kite the boss around the room in order for his stacks to reset. That's the whole boss fight. Just tank him down. Watch out for the growing blue flames occasionally on the bone piles. Please get a stack. Another one.
Do you see another one?
Alright, for this next set of trash, you'll mana up if you need to. The tank is going to go around to the left and pull all of the trash together, again with his battle horn that we mentioned earlier. You are going to stack all of your defensives you have here. Spirit Shell, Pain Suppression, Barrier, we're going to AG now. And we're going to use all offenses, so we're going to AoE these down as fast as possible. If the ads are not dying quick enough, once the AG is over, our tank is going to get out instead of risking death. Pretty much use everything you have there and AoE them down. You'll want to get someone to click on the gate unlocking the boss. That'll start the RP event while you finish off killing these mobs.
Ink lag.
That way when you can turn the corner and the boss will spawn and go. Once the ads die, your healer can get out of combat in order to amber up and just do damage to the boss. You want to save any major cooldowns you have for a 60% mark, in which you'll port to the center and start splitting into our alternate ad. If you have a high enough DPS, you can push her down. If you kill her before she full splits into her alternate phase, you will skip the alternate phase altogether. It saves about a minute and a half or so. Keep moving for this, because she should have got the debuff. Oh no, okay. If she grips you in right there with her death grasp, you'll get a debuff after she grips you in, and you'll have to run around the room for 10 seconds, continuously moving, trying to fire pool behind you. If you stop moving for whatever reason, you'll stack the pools underneath you and more than likely die. So we had a reasonably good push there. With a little bit more DPS, we would have been able to kill her, about 10%. Either way, the damage is not wasted because we'll just make her health in the final phase lower as well. In her split phase here, you can see she'll just cast Fixate on a random member in the raid, in the party. If it's anyone but the tank, they want to kite it around the room. Just make sure not to get hit here. He does hit fairly hard. If it's the tank can tank it no problem. If you are doing this phase coming out of it, Lillian will cast her Earth Grasp pretty quickly. You can use any minor AoE defensives you have. Usually will avert harm for the first one with our monk tank or healing tide. You can see the dust grasp being cast now. It won't last the full duration since you'll die, which is good for us. And just gonna go to combat, amber up. So where you want to stack an invis, make sure you're out of combat for the invis. It's for everyone. And you can go where? We're waiting in combat. Okay, we're still waiting on combat, I think. Simple 15-second invis pod is fine here. Why is this taking so long?
I don't know, I'm still in combat.
Yeah.
Oh no. Our guy's ruined. What's going on?
We're still okay on time. I've done everything else pretty quickly, but I really don't know what's happening. Some RP going on or something like that.
God damn it.
Try clearing it back and see if it gets satisfied with combat.
I doubt it will.
There's
And if
clear
it's
one.
It's back.
It's a bug with the boss. Yeah, come stack on square. Fire breaths here, you guys want to not be in front of them.
I was going so well up to this point.
Yeah,
Oh well.
that's very first for the bug. I don't know what that is. But it's definitely with the boss, because I don't think we're going to get out of combat for the rest of this now.
Our health frame to go away, but
Pull one more
a
pack,
lot of combat.
and then... Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's kill
We'll have
this.
to kill them now.
Yeah, that's okay. Alright, let's is.
Oh my god, stagger broke. Just summon me on the other side. Forgot to clear my stagger before I invis.
Do you still have the pot up?
No, I potted and forgot about my stagger just and summoned me on the other side.
Solo
Yes,
goes
I
make it. Or Helsing, yeah. Whatever it's called.
Major.
There's a guy named Marlboro.
Yeah. Kind of recording so don't
Okay.
Alright, this is how to recover for me. Failed run. The combat bug. Let's go. Just pull this boss right away and just do as much single damage as you can. The healer should be able to DPS almost 100% of the time.
Stack up Fred.
These ads take priority, and AoEing them down. If they're up for too long, they'll explode and do pretty significant damage to the group. So focus on AoE, cleaving off of the boss. If your tank is the one that gets ported, just like we just had, someone else is going to get aggro for a couple seconds. Just make sure you're watching them. You can always cycle through any defensives you'll more than likely have up here. It's not necessary, but as well. If you get the harsh lesson, it's on you. If you're a DPS or a tank, you just have to kill all the ads inside. If you're a healer, there are friendly mobs around the room. You can just pull all the mobs towards one of them, and then dispel that mob. If you dispel that mob, it will do significant damage to all of them. If you're a priest, you can mass dispel, and it'll kill everything.
3 minutes left, but normally much smoother than that.
Yeah, that sucked. Goddamn. Oh well.